Hello everyone, this is amazing performance. Today we have a special thing for you, and today we are going to review kind of a song a little bit, Chicago 25 or 6 to 4 from 1970.
Yes, at Tanglewood.
And Tanglewood.
It's an official video. I'm not sure where Tanglewood is, but anyway, a lot of bands played there. And this is a live show of the old Chicago with Terry Kath as the guitar player. Just awesome material. Very, very cool stuff. If you like classic rock, live classic rock, you're going to love this. Terry Kath was one of the great guitar players of the 1970s.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he died in a terrible gun accident. And that was the end of Terry Kath. And then Chicago began to morph into something else. But when he was around, and he had a great blues singing voice. He was really known for his great singing voice. When I was a kid, I thought he was a black guy. He was an African American. I didn't know he was a white guy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he had an incredible, soulful blues voice. And he's a monster on the guitar. But there's someone else who's a monster, and that's Danny Seraphine on the drums.
Yeah, like...
He plays his guitar like this, and he's going crazy. But Danny Seraphine was a monster on the drums, too.
Yeah.
And he had that jazzy style that really worked so well with old Chicago. So we're going to watch this live show.
Like lots of double showgirls, like...
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like offbeat stuff and all that stuff.
Well,
I couldn't play it. Don't blame me.
He might have been playing for 2 years. He's getting better, but he's not quite there yet. And anyway, Danny Seraphine had a really good jazzy drum style. A lot of jazzy stuff. So it was a combination of jazz and rock, which was not unusual for drummers of that period. Their influences were all jazz players like, Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich, etc. Anyway, okay. So this is a live concert of Chicago, and it's just an amazing musicianship. Mark has never seen it, so he's going to react to it, and we're going to ask him what he thinks about Chicago from the 1970s. So here we go.
Chicago.
Right now. Chicago. Hit it.
They named themselves Chicago because of the city?
They're from Chicago. And they got trombone, saxophone, and a trumpet.
Is this instrumental?
Yep. They're singing.
Who is singing?
Peter Cetera.
Peter Cetera.
We had 3 singers in this band. Peter Cetera, Terry Kath, and Lamb. Lamb is the name of the He's a singer too.
Who was that trombone player?
I don't know all their names. I know his name, but I just can't think of it.
Sounds like Doors. Listen to the piano, it's really good.
Yep.
1970s when disco was a launch.
I did. I was 9 years old. Disco didn't come along in 75, 76, 77.
Oh. 78 too?
Well, it was around then, big time.
That was a great topic, evolution of music.
Yeah,
very skilled.
He was as good as some of the best. He was one of the best.
Except Jimi Hendrix.
He was as good as Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah?
Yep.
He's a keyboard player or a pianist?
Even Jimi Hendrix said he was as good.
Yeah. He's a pianist or a keyboard player?
He plays both, organ and...
Another idea for a dance performance. Oh, he's amazing. He is like...
Oh, he's just a monster.
He is kind of like Stereo Yvonne.
Yeah. That talent.
Those are 16 notes on the...
You see that? On the right?
Yeah. Those are like 16 notes.
Exactly.
Somebody is playing a saxophone in here?
Yeah, they got a sax player in the middle. They got a trombone player. This guy's a trombone player, sax player, trumpet.
Yeah. Just like in Kansas, they had a violinist.
There he is. Yes, exactly.
Is he using double bass?
Nope.
That's his single bass.
Yep. He was very good at singing.
What a long bridge.
It was a long bridge.
Yeah. Peter Cetera. That was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Amazing.
Well, what I want to say about this, band, that band Chicago, what was performing right now in 1970s, what I just pictured in my mind. That is an amazing band, just like Raj, just like Journey, Toto, and Police, and all that stuff. And I want to say that Chicago, what they get they give a band Chicago because they lived in Chicago and they love that city. And what I want to say that Danny Seraphine has a very bluesy, like a groovy groovy beats going on.
Yeah.
He's playing lots of those stuff. I don't know how is he doing that because I play just "You're My Inspiration."
Yeah.
And if I could play "You Make Me Smile," I would just say, "Whoa! What is he doing here?"
You know what? The music from the 80s of Chicago was different than the stuff from the 70s.
Yeah.
So you played some of the 80s stuff, and by that time, Chicago had changed personnel a bit, and they were playing more top 40 pop music.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was actually love ballads.
Yeah.
A lot of their stuff from the 80s. But in the early 70s with Terry Kath and Danny Seraphine, they were doing a lot of like jazzy rock stuff.
Jazzy
It
rock
was
stuff.
much more complicated. a lot more difficult, intricate, a different feel altogether. And then in the late 70s, after Terry Kath was died, they kind of began to morph into this thing in the 80s, which became really a pop rock band with some really good ballads. Don't get me wrong; they were very well written and very good, but not at all like what you're watching here.
Yeah,
a completely different sound for Chicago. So one time we went and saw a band in where we used to live in a park, and they had a Chicago tribute band play there. So I called my son and my daughter-in-law to come to the park and see him, because I know she liked Chicago, because she was a young person, very young, in the 80s, and she remembers their love ballads are very popular. So she knew all those songs, but when it came to the stuff in the 70s, she didn't have a clue about them. Because there was really two Chicagos, the 70s Chicago and the 80s Chicago. And this is the 70s Chicago. This is where they got their start, where they got famous and popular. And my personal favorite music is their stuff in the 70s. So, and you can see how energetic they were, and just great musicians, interesting sound. Terry Kath's a great guitar player. And of course, Danny Seraphine had that great jazzy drum style that just was able to just carry it and frame the whole song. And you had three good singers. You had Terry Kath as a blues singer. Peter Cetera had a great higher voice.
Yeah.
And in fact, he became their main singer in the 80s. He was their main singer. And then he went on to do a solo career. And I think Richard Lamb is the other guy who was on the keyboard. He had a pretty good voice, too. So you had three good vocalists who could harmonize together or sing separate songs. So anyway, Chicago was a very versatile band in the 70s, more like a rock band than they became later on. But I just wanted to see this. This is how they started when they sounded out, when they first started out. And I want you to see what you thought about their performance. And Mark is impressed, obviously, as a drummer. We did a review of Danny Seraphine maybe like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So go back and watch it. It was really cool. And check him out, because Danny was and still is, a very good drummer. In fact, Mark asked me, what happened to Danny? Did he leave the band? I said, yes. He was fired from the band in the 80s, and he went out to California, and he started his own band. And he's still playing in it. And they play like Chicago songs, and they play jazzy songs. So you can probably find them on YouTube. Go check them out.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. So I guess we're done for today's amazing performance. And
Rock My Bean.
For Rock My Bean. And so Mark and I both say thank you for joining us. Please join us again next time. Why don't you go over and follow this link to our coffee and help support the channel. This is awesome, delicious coffee we love. We want to share it with you. And if you, on your first order, you get free shipping. And believe me, once you get a bag of this stuff, you're going to keep wanting to drink it, because it's the best coffee we've ever had. That's how good this stuff is. We wouldn't sell you puddle water. And Mark likes Starbucks. He says this is better than Starbucks.
Yes.
So you got to get yourself, support our channel. We got to get new cameras. So it would help if you'd support us. We can get a new camera, and we won't be quite so fuzzy on screen.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks again for joining us. Mark, say thank you and goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you stay safe and get rocking.
Keep rocking on. Bye-bye.